Anthony Hill, a black 27-year-old Air Force veteran, was fatally shot in March 2015 in Chamblee, Georgia, by Dekalb County police officer Robert Olsen. Anthony suffered from PTSD and bipolar disorder and was naked and unarmed at the time of the shooting. A rally in support of Anthony Hill was scheduled in Decatur, Georgia, with anticipation that the long-awaited court hearing against Officer Robert Olsen was finally to take place on the following Monday, after 3 years. The hearing, however, was unexpectedly postponed once again, so the rally morphed into a protest against the deaths of not only Anthony Hill, but all black lives that have been lost to police brutality.
We really shouldn't have to gather like this to talk about these shootings of unarmed individuals. We shouldn't have to worry about whether our sons or daughters, our nieces or nephews are going to come home or even stay home and be safe. That's what this movement is about. Many groups have tried to hijack this movement for Black Lives, tried to call them terrorist groups, tried to call them all manners of things, but they're nothing more than people that want to have their voices heard, people that have been marginalized, people that have been refused to be able to sit in Starbucks in 2018. But what I want to do today is to open the conversation, to open the floor for the true victims and their families, so that these names are never forgotten.
Black lives, they matter here! 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 This is what democracy looks like! Black lives matter! 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 What do we want? Justice! When do we want it? Now! Justice! Now! Justice! Now! Justice! Black lives matter! 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 Black lives matter!
And Anna, why are you out here today?
I'm out here because I'm really sad about the fact that there's white supremacists marching in Newnan, Georgia today. And I wanted to come out and do something about it. And I thought attending a Black Lives Matter rally is the perfect thing, because this is something that we all need to stand together and support. There's a lot of people saying that all lives matter, but the issue right now is just how our black brothers and sisters are being treated by the police and by society, considering what happened to Starbucks in Philadelphia. I'm sad, and I can't just sit back and allow this to happen. I've got to do what I can do.
Remove your mask, or you will be arrested. Remove your mask, or you will be arrested. Get back! Get back! Get back! Get back! We have to Black lives, they matter here.
My daughter asked me, why am I coming? Why do I always go to all of these marches and these rallies? And I said, when they start holding police officers accountable for killing unarmed black people, I'll stop marching. When they start demonstrating accountability as police departments, as school boards, when things happen, when there's racial insensitivity. So when there is someone when they're held accountable, then we don't have to march anymore. But until then, I'll be marching. I'll be here.
Black lives, they matter here. Black lives, they matter here. Black lives, they matter here. Black lives.
I'm here because I'm a retired veteran, and I don't like what happened to the veteran that was killed without reason. I'm here to bring up the awareness level of people having their lives taken without justification in America.
Black lives matter! Black lives matter! Black lives matter! Black lives matter!
I'm out here today because after the March for Our Lives happened, I think it's clear that there's still a huge part of gun violence that affects minorities and black people more than white kids in school. And I think the Black Lives Matter movement was started long before March for Our Lives and has a very, very important message that police violence is not going to be tolerated anymore, and that gun policies and gun control need to be directed towards African American communities just as much as schools.
Thank you.
Black lives matter! Black lives matter! No peace! No peace! No peace! No peace!
All right, and Diana, where are you from?
I am from New York originally, but when I was 8 years old, my parents had to move to Mexico because they were part of the left, and it was during the McCarthy era, and it was only in Mexico where they were able to go without a passport and live good lives for many, many years. And I'm here because if my parents were around, they would want me to be here for something else that they fought for, besides laboring class, besides rights for all people, women, every single race, religion.
No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace!
I am out here today because I would want to be a voice for men that's wrongfully incarcerated. My son, Nicholas Benton, was wrongfully incarcerated, and he's been charged guilty, and he is innocent. DNA was not his. Fingerprint was not his. And the prosecutor still went ahead, and jurors who are not up to date convicted him. And after the conviction, some of the jurors came back to the sentencing and apologized to me because they know now they have more information than they had within the courtroom. And so I'm definitely here to not only speak for Nicholas, but other men and women that's just like Nicholas. And I'm here, and I will continue to be here as a voice for the innocent.
Justice! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Justice! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Justice! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Justice! When do we want it? Now! When do we want it? Black lives matter! Black lives matter!
Today.
I just feel like it's important as a black individual or anybody else to support other black individuals, and I feel that the police going after black men only is something that is close to me, because that could be my little brother, my other brother, or my dad, and it's like nobody should have to fear for their lives just walking down the street or sitting in Starbucks or going to Walgreens. It's like it's just too much.
So let's go over here. Let's take a knee on Starbucks.
I want to bend that
No justice.
No peace!
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 So now I heard on Good Morning America, they're going to have a half a day to do racial sensitivity training. Yeah. Is it enough to do a half a day for 400 years of oppression?
No!
Is it enough to do a half a day for Jim Crow?
No!
Is it enough to do a half a day for police brutality?
No!
We need to send a message to Starbucks.
That's right!
We're going to take a knee on Starbucks.
Yeah! And we're going to go to Dunkin' Donuts on Starbucks!
And we're going to go to Quick Trip.
On Starbucks!
We're going to go to Dunkin' Donuts.
On Starbucks!
We're going to go to McDonald's.
On Starbucks!
We're going to go to black-owned coffee houses.
On Starbucks!
And we're going to make sure that they don't get not one more dollar. Not one more dollar.
Not one more dollar!
Not one more dollar.
Not one more dollar!
Not one more dollar.
Not one more dollar!
Not one more dollar.
Not one
Lives Matter group and to say that we're all in this together and it's enough and we're ready to see some justice.
Say his name! Anthony Hill! 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 Anthony Hill!
Say his name, Anthony Hill. Say his name. 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 Say her name. Say her name. Say her name. Say her name. Say his name. Say his name. Say his name. Say her name. Say her name. Say her name. Say his name.
Trayvon Martin!
Say his name.
Trayvon Martin!
Say his name.
Trayvon Martin!
Say his name. Say his name.
Mike Brown!
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 Say his name. Eric Garner. Say his name.
Eric Garner!
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 Say his name.
Walter Scott!
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 Say his name.
Officer!
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 Say his name. Say his name. Say his name. Say his name. And there are so many others. Terrence Crutcher. I mean, the names just go on and on. But we don't have a government that's strong enough to do the right thing. All we're asking is for police accountability and accountability for killings. That's it.
Our streets! Our streets! Y'all gonna stop killing us! Y'all gonna stop killing us!
Well, what do you think that we can do besides congregate?
We can vote. Yes, everybody needs to vote in the primary on the 22nd and then work for the candidates of your choice and vote again in the fall. Lots of voting.
We need to vote. We need to get the right people in office. We need to get to those polls. We definitely need a group of people who have the same heart. We just need people with a heart.
Well, we can speak out. That's very important. We can speak out, we can tell people how we feel, and of course we can vote. We must vote, and we must organize.
Voting, absolutely. These ladies said it. I second that and agree with that. Voting and getting involved in the process as well. Educating ourselves about who's running, not just on national levels, but on local levels. So that's all the way from House districts and the congressional seats, the mayor, the school board. We've got to be involved and engaged, asking questions, having conversations, and educating ourselves so that we know what's affecting our everyday lives. We can't change the fact of who's in the office right now. That's going to take care of itself, but even when he's gone, we're going to be fighting this fight until we win, until there's equality for everyone.
Well, one of the things we need to do is organize and verbalize it and get it out there and put it in front of the faces of our politicians, our faith leaders, our business leaders, and our supposedly servants, politicians.
It's important to use our privilege to help lift up their voices.
We could first start by not only letting our jurors jurors be on the juror panel just because they vote. However, educate them. Give them a 20-minute introduction to being a juror, and then give them a little test just to make sure they have understanding of they're going to be able to receive the instructions that the judge is giving. If they can't receive the instruction that the judge is giving, there's no need for them to be on the jury, because I would hate for any other parents to feel like I felt when this woman came to me and said she didn't understand. Oh, now I see. But you're too late now. You're way too late, because now the sentencing has gone on. The second thing is that I truly believe that to be judge among your peers, I did not see that at all. My son is a 25-year-old black male, and his jurors was predominantly white, anywhere from 45 up, and I feel like that's definitely not amongst his peers.
What do you think that we can do about it?
Well, if we all stand together, instead of being in our separate groups, then, we can make a difference. It's really important that, that white people show up to these rallies as well and say that it's unacceptable. We don't have to be, the marginalized group to say, this needs to stop, because this is affecting our society, it's affecting our democracy, and we can't allow this hate to continue.
They matter here! Black lives, they matter here! Black lives, they matter here! Black lives, they matter here! Y'all gon' stop killing us! Y'all gon' stop killing us! And y'all gon' stop killing us! 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 Anthony Hill! Anthony Hill! Nick Thomas! Nick Thomas! Tamarian Robinson! Tamarian Robinson! Alton Sterling! Alton Sterling! Tamir Rice! Tamir Rice! Tamir Rice! Ayanna Jones! Ayanna Jones!
Most cases proceed within a year to a year and a half from the arrest to the actual trial. So 3 years is just way too far, too long. And so we're going to keep his name in our thoughts and our prayers, and we're going to show up to Judge Johnson's courtroom on May the 21st at 9 o'clock to make sure that the trial goes forward and that the jurors see that the community, not only in Atlanta, but around the world, are concerned about justice for Anthony Hill.
Anthony Hill!